May have
I
to play
think
with
we're
the audio
live.
settings some more, but we're good.
Hey there, gang. Welcome to the Missouri Freedom Initiative. It is the 18th of June. The year is 2022. Do you know where your candidates are for the Missouri primaries? We'll start with that. First off, welcome to the new format. This is, of course, gilded. And we're really hoping that we're doing okay right now. Right now, YouTube is telling me an excellent connection. Okay, we're getting 5x5. Okay, I think we're getting some feedback on your end, Casey.
I killed it.
Okay, thank you.
Casey, I'd actually recommend just clicking on that little gear in the bottom corner and then hit the push to talk. So when you say something, you just push the button.
Yep. So, okay. So we're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. While people are gathering and coming in, like giving us 5x5s, and hopefully everything's okay because we did have some very serious problems in the past. Sheraton Farmer's here. Jonathan Ashley's here. Thank you for joining us, Jonathan. Just let you guys know what's up with me. And not that this is about me or anything, but this is why we're not having as many live streams right now. And my mom is doing okay. She is back home in the house, that she and my dad live in. So she's doing okay. She's still got cancer going on, but her heart problem has been corrected, and that was with an electric shock to the heart. So that's not where I was for 2 weeks, though. My wife's brother passed away 2 years ago, and we're having to deal with his estate. And not to get into too much detail on it, it's a very large estate, and it needs to be dealt with. And so my wife's family's up there, and for 2 years they have done nothing about the estate. And so we need to take care of it. So that's a big part of what's going on in my life. It's going to be about another 2 months. And I've talked to my wife, and we are still going to be here next weekend. So we will have a live stream next weekend. So that will happen. But after that, it'll be 2 weeks off again. So we're going to talk about these questionnaires and the kind of help we need to get them out, and how easy it is to get done. It's time-consuming, but it's easy. So you guys can help us out with that. Those of you who do want to help out, I'll show you guys how to do it and everything on the live stream tonight. I'll share my screen. So that's what's going on with me. And, of course, you guys see KC and Liberty, and Robert Smith is with us as well. And hello to Robert. And, yeah, Robert, you're there, man.
Yes, sir. Hello, Pat. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Good to hear your voice again.
Yes, sir. Good to see you again as well.
Yep. And then also, you're going to get into a few other things. Like, for instance, I've gotten some emails on people who want to buy T-shirts, because you guys really haven't heard of us since Travis's Expo. And that's just because I had to disappear for a while, and it's going to happen again. It's going to happen 2 more times, so it's going to be about 2 more months before we get back to a regular schedule. So those of you who are wanting T-shirts, we'll go ahead. Hang on 1 second. I'll show you the T-shirts. First of all, I'm wearing one right now, but the microphone's in the way. 3 colors, black, gray, and blue. And here's what our T-shirts look like. So here's the front side of the T-shirt. And then here's the back side. And, of course, it's probably reading in reverse, but it's the Second Amendment. And so these are what the T-shirts are like. We have every size but large. So we have small, medium, extra large, and extra, extra large. And I know some of you have already emailed asking for T-shirts, and I'll get back to you this coming up week. And you guys have to, I'm sorry about that. I got back from Minnesota recently, and we were gone for quite a while. But we'll get back to you, and we'll do the email thing. Patrick@mofree.org is the email address. Just email me if you want shirts, and then basically we'll get you taken care of. Okay, so we got the shirt thing out of the way. And before we start a larger discussion, I want to talk about the importance of these questionnaires and why we're doing them. And then we'll get into a larger discussion. Then we'll talk about how to do them and see, how many of you want to help out and participate in this. So the questionnaires, first of all, was kind of groundbreaking because we got so many organizations to come together to put in questions for the same questionnaire. The politicians who are running for office understand that the people of Missouri are starting to forget their divides and come together for liberty, for freedom. And that's accentuated with the questionnaires. Basically the organizations get credit for their questions on there. And then we will publicly display them. And I think the date was July 19th, I think was the cutoff date. And so after that, they'll be publicly displayed. So I got to work that out on my end. And but at any rate, we will talk about that, and we'll talk about how you can participate. I use Facebook. You can find almost everyone who's running for office on Facebook. So all you have to do is plug in their name, and I'm going to show you the website where you can find out who's running in every district, show you what I've done so far, and we'll see if we can divide this up among a certain amount of volunteers so that it's not, so time-consuming. Other than that, I know a lot of stuff has happened in the news. A lot of stuff has happened with finance while I was gone. I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't had a whole lot of time to study it. And so if anything's going on in Missouri, you guys can tell me, because I was gone for nearly 2 weeks. I don't think anything big has gone down. But let's go ahead and start the larger conversation.
So you think the red flag laws are going to get passed up there in D.C.? I'm kind of curious if they do pass them, how that's going to go down here in Missouri, being we have SEPA.
Well, Caleb is probably going to weigh in on that pretty heavily here in a second here. What that means is the ATF will have to come into Missouri and do it single-handedly.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so that's what it means to me, because Missouri law enforcement doesn't want to risk the $50,000 fine. So they're not going to do it. They're simply not going to do it, in my opinion. Now, Caleb, go ahead and bring in your opinion on that. We can have a larger conversation about it.
Well, first off, the federal red flag thing is I don't suspect it's going to make it through. The whole push for it is dying off.
Hey, KC, can you mute your mic for us real quick?
The whole push for it is kind of dying off, but let's see here. Their whole attempt to do so was through trying to incentivize states. So Missouri couldn't even take those funds to begin with to try to do that. Second off, when you're talking about actually, let's say if they did pass something federally, it's not only the $50,000 fines, but as I got to thinking about, I've been thinking about this for a while, exactly how that would stop them on top of the fines and on top of those cops not being able to work there in any place in Missouri anymore in terms of a government position. But also the fact that when you open up a lawsuit like that, it opens up a discovery process. And I don't think they're willing to encounter the possibility of any corrupt money from being exposed, airing like dirty laundry.
Yeah. Well, it all comes down to a lot of different things regarding money. So, this is the thing. Now, the law enforcement in Missouri had their shot administratively through the legislative process this year with several bills. The only one, in fact, none of them actually made it out of committee. Not a single one. And let me remind all of you that every single, when, gosh darn it, what's his name again? It's KC's senator. When his bill did not make it out of Rizzo, when his bill did not make it out of committee, he brought it up as literally an amendment to someone else's bill that had nothing to do with guns in the first place. And so every single Republican voted it down. So we have a rhino problem in Missouri, but at the very least, they stuck to their guns in the Senate, and every single one of them voted down that amendment. So, and Ganai says, let's not forget we're not out of the woods with SEPA. That is correct. Go ahead.
I got to add in there too that it wasn't just that they've turned it down. It was that Luchtenmeyer went up there and changed the title of the entire bill to undermining the Second Amendment Preservation Act.
That's correct. Yep, that they did a title change. You know, so it actually was, and you know, we can laugh about that now. Actually, we were laughing about it then even harder. It was such a slap in the face to John Rizzo that they actually renamed his bill to that. It was a beautiful moment, and the rhinos, even the rhinos in Missouri, stuck to SEPA. Thank God. Thank God they did. And it sent a very broad message to everyone in Missouri that the Republicans remain united in keeping SEPA intact. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. Even the rhinos did in the Senate.
So far.
So far, that's correct. But of course, they're working real hard to try and convince everyone how much they were for SEPA, because a lot of them are running for higher office right now. So far is the correct way to actually inject that into the conversation, because next year things may change again. But that's why these questionnaires are so important, and who we vote for is so important. By the way, I want to throw this out there right now. And by the way, American Patriot says, howdy y'all, haven't seen you guys in a while. I actually explained that in the beginning of the video, and we'll get back to that towards the end of the video. Because I don't want to make this about me and what I'm up to right now. I want to make this about Missouri, and we haven't had a live in 3 weeks. So, and we're going to have another one next Saturday. I will be here for next Saturday too, but then we're taking a couple of weeks off after that again because I'll be out of town. So that's kind of what's going on. So with the voting, I want to remind all of you that basically with voting, you have until July 6th to register to vote, to actually vote in the primaries. Now, this is, if some of you, the only reason I say that, some of you have moved here recently from other states, and welcome to Missouri. It's nice to have you. If you haven't registered to vote yet, help us out. The voting process actually does work. They've done some things here to correct some issues in Missouri or to make sure they don't happen. Hopefully, they've got it under control, but these primaries are very important. We need to get rid of some of the rhinos in Missouri, and there's a lot of them up for election. We'll go through that next week. It's questionnaire time right now, and get that done. And Crystal Roby says, good evening. I'll be praying for you and your family, Pat. God bless you. Thank you very much, Crystal, and God bless you. Thank you. Prayers are much appreciated, and my mom is doing better. So let's see. Why does Missouri send so many rhinos to D.C. is a question W's asking.
Ooh, I got a reason for that.
Go ahead.
It's a great way to dump them off.
Yeah, that's okay. And actually, Caleb has a very strong point.
Beat me to the punch.
Yep, this is actually correct. I am not going to argue.
Just dump them in D.C. because we don't need them here.
That's actually very, very honestly correct, W. It's a strategy.
Already a toxic waste nuclear dump up in D.C. So
yep.
Send them our waste.
Yep. So that is actually very accurate. We would much rather have them outside of the body politic that is the state of Missouri, and we'll send them to the sewer. So we tend to send, basically in many cases, the worst of the worst to be the new deepies in the sewer that is D.C. So that's.
I'd rather have Eric Schmidt here in Missouri as our governor instead of up there in the sewer.
Yep. So
I think he likes the fact that he won't have term limits if it gets in there.
Yep. And let's see. Yeah, Ganai, he was a train wreck. I felt bad for John to guide that interview. Let's see, Patrick, that guy, the Missouri Liberty Report was horrible. Actually, I wish John were in here right now because we learned a lot with that interview. And guys, I'm talking about the Missouri Liberty Report, our good friend John Williams. He is not with us tonight, but he did have a live stream last night. That was a really good one. He was interviewing a guy by the name of Dustin Hill that's running for District 2, Congressional District 2. And I encourage you guys to go see that live stream. It was over 2 hours, but actually there was some really good stuff in there. And I will do this after the show, but I'd like to talk about the good things that he brought up that I even didn't think of to bring up for that interview. And
Hey, you just came on here.
hey, it's John with
No,
the
that's
Liberty
Rebel.
Report.
That's
Okay.
Rebel Cry.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh,
Hey
is
there,
it?
Rebel.
Okay.
So I understand he didn't answer all the questions the way we would have them, but once again, it's very hard to find a candidate that is 100% in your camp. Very, very, very difficult, especially when you're a constitutionalist. And I think that's hallowed ground. And so for those of us that have lived through being, for instance, I called myself a Republican until 2004. However, I was waking up back when I was 19 years old, and I'm a little bit older than that now. So, as we get older and we immerse ourselves or marinate ourselves in the United States Constitution and understand it better, and the Bill of Rights, all the amendments, it's a different experience for us when it comes to selecting candidates than it is for people that are stuck in the right-left paradigm. So that's something that we can discuss here after the show. But actually, I think he's better than the alternative. So I know a lot of people say, yeah, you're choosing, the better of two evils. I'm not going to say that with this guy, and I'll tell you why after the show. But he has a couple of really, really good points about him, and I don't want to talk about him on a live program. So, okay, so he lost me when he kept calling elected officials his leaders. Yeah, I understand that. I got you on that. So, and he may have been saying that joking.
Yeah, he's got to make a public face with that.
Yep. So.
Well, that's jokingly too. That's another thing. Yeah.
Yep. So, okay, I'll tell you what, at this point right now, guys, if you don't mind, I'm going to talk real quick about how easy it is to actually get these surveys out, or these questionnaires. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up another screen real quick. And that is this screen right here. Hopefully it's coming across to you guys. Let's see if I can bring up something that will... There we go. I'm watching it in OBS right now. Okay, guys, I'm going to put this into the live stream, and I'll also put it in the description for the video. So this is, let's see, live stream. Paste. Okay. The shortcut that I have just put in is for that very page I was at. It's a very important page. Please bookmark it. This is everyone who is running and the districts they're in. So what I have done so far, and by the way, I will put it in the description of this video. I'll do it here in a little bit. I have started out with state representative districts, and the first 3 districts I've got covered. So let's cover that real quick. Since I've already done the first 3 districts, let's go to District 4. So I click on District 4, and it looks like Greg Sharp is the only guy running. So let's look up Greg Sharp on Facebook. Let's see if he's there. So I'll copy his name, and now I'll bring up Facebook. Let's do a search for Greg Sharp. And let's see, we got several Greg Sharps. Let's see if this is the guy with the American flag. Updated his profile picture. I don't think that's it. I probably picked a really bad one to show you. So let me do Greg Sharp, Missouri. Okay, looks like he doesn't have a Facebook. So what I would do after that is go to Twitter and search for Greg Sharp. Nope. Looks like he doesn't have a social media presence. Okay. So we tried that one. And what I would generally do at that point is actually move on. You do have an address to mail. But let's go ahead and go to District 5. Lewis Riggs. I know Riggs. Okay. Let's go. I'm looking for one that's got several people running. There's a lot of people that don't have any competition here. Here we go. We have one with competition. So we have Peggy McGraw. Copy. Go to Facebook. Paste. And that might be her right there. Yep, that's got to be her. Okay, so you found her, or I found her. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our questionnaire form. And it's right on our website. That's easy to find. I'll show you guys that in a second too. We're almost done here. This is literally how easy it is. So we'll go back to Peggy, and we're going to send her a message. There we go. I just sent Peggy the questionnaire. So that's literally how simple it is. For those who don't have anyone running against them, I'm not sure it's really all that necessary to send out a questionnaire. Some people might say that it is important because there might be a write-in candidate or something like that, but I don't think so. When there's only one person running, if you have a Democrat and a Republican, do it. If you have only a Republican and one Republican running in a district, I don't think we can do much about that. So let's get those questionnaires out, and I'm curious how many of you that's seeing that process right there would mind being a volunteer to help us get this done. And we've got Senate districts to cover and representative districts, once again, all within the state of Missouri. And for those of you who can, let us know here live, or if you want to, email me, patrick@mofree.org, because some of them are quite lengthy. If I go through District 1 and District 2, District 3, there's a lot more people running. So I'll show you that real quick. Let's go back to the elections. SOS, here we go. And go back to District 1. Here's a good example. In District 1 for Republican, you got 5 people running and 1 Democrat. So, and I will let you know in Districts 1, 2, and 3, I'm having to mail out to the Democrats because they don't have any social media presence. So, but every single one of these guys in 1, 2, and 3 Republicans, I was able to find all of them on social media between Facebook and Twitter. So, at any rate, just let us know if you guys are interested in helping out with this. That's literally how simple it is, what I just showed you. So those of you who don't have a lot of time, I get it. Trust me, I'm in the same boat. But at any rate, that's how simple it is to get those questionnaires out. And then basically, the instructions are on the questionnaire already on how to return them. Go ahead, Caleb.
I was gonna say I can probably tell you why they don't have social media. They trying to try to create a social media account.
Hey, KC, is Caleb breaking up real bad on you? Or is it just me?
Yes, he is.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
It's giving everybody trouble here.
Okay.
This app is having all kinds of problems. I don't know if it's bit rate or if it's something to do with noise cancellation or any of that, but it's getting weird.
Your video's coming through fine, just so you know. As you guys know, we're new on this platform, and we're probably not going to stay here. But at any rate, this is what we have for right now. Okay. Send it to every politician running. More visibility for the people of Missouri. Need to show them how crappy the two parties are. Rebel Cry, I tend to agree with you. And also, I'm just talking about if we don't get enough volunteers, I'm trying to do I've got the first 3 districts completely covered for representative. I've touched a few senators, actually, already have. And I've hit a few other districts, too, with some of my favorite representatives. But I sent them to my favorite representatives and not everyone in the district. So I will continue doing this. I do this late at night, actually, before I go to bed. And so that's generally when I do them. And we are getting them returned, believe it or not. They're already coming back in. I think I've got a grand total of 9 of them so far. 9 have been returned. Casey Pemberton was the very first person to return one. So, and then our very good friend Robert Smith has also returned one as well. So people are returning them already. Let's see. Show me state news now. I'm wanting to hold a peaceful protest in West Plains, Missouri around the courthouse. Can you tell us what it's for, what the protest is for? I'm just curious. Let's see. All but judges here. 6th District. Okay. 6th District for Rabid Coyote. Okay, gotcha. And that's, you talking about Senate, or are you talking about representative districts, Rabid? They have violated our rights. West Plains, Missouri. I wish I knew what that was about. Does anyone know anything about that? West Plains, Missouri, anything strange going on there?
I might want to hear more about that too. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. If you don't mind, show me. Give us more detail on that, if you don't mind. So that's interesting. Let's see. Rebel Cry says, I'll send mine here in KC, both Ds, both Democrats. Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what then. What I'm going to do for now, and by the way, I'll mark you down. Give me the districts for your for what you have in Kansas City for your Senate and your representative district. I will try my best to coordinate so people aren't being sent multiple times from multiple people, and I'll keep that somehow. Let's see, Arthur and Wes. It's 18. Okay, gotcha. All right, gotcha. I will keep that in mind here. I'll get a pen here in a little bit so I can take some notes. And like I said, I'll try and coordinate. If people just want to send to their individuals, that's fine too, as long as you somehow get it back to us. But do it in the comments section of this video if you like. Just say, hey, I've got them to my rep and my senator, district this and district that for, Senate district and then representative district. That'd be great. I'm a First Amendment auditor. They're not allowing us access to the courthouse, to records, or our public servants. Well, son of a gun. That's interesting. You can't get to courthouse records. Wow. I don't know what to say.
What part of the state is West Plains in?
That's South Central. It's kind of like between me and the boot heel.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, you're going to send to Boyd and Railsback. By the way, send them to everyone who's running in your districts, gang. If you're just going to handle your own district, please send them to everyone running in your district. That way it gets covered completely, Judge Stephen Prevet. Okay, show me state news now. If you wouldn't mind, can you type out something a little bit more elaborate about what's going on over there? And I know that's hard to do on YouTube. If you would, please send it to me in an email. And then I'll cover that either in a standalone video or in our next live stream, so we can get more details on this. You have to forgive me, man. I've been out of state for literally 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. So I don't know anything that's going on here right now. And I was working really hard for those 2 weeks. Really hard. Okay, so, all right, we'll get with Rebel Cry here. He's going to cover 18. Let me take I don't want to, actually, I'll do that in the after show. Oh, what I need to do is get it into the description section of the video. The important candidate website. Here we go. Copy. And I will get it into the description. And let's call this Missouri candidates. Okay. All right. I've also got it in the description section of the video now. So, like I said, anyone else want to participate in this? Because this is a lot of work for one guy to do. And also there's circuit judges too. We could send them to judges as well. We also have congressional districts, but honest to God, I generally don't touch those. So, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. If you guys want to send them to congressional districts, I'll certainly display them. You know, if you guys want to know where our congressional people are. Let's see. All of Morgan County is part of Missouri's 6th district and Missouri Senate, and it's currently represented by Mike Kehoe. Ah. All of Morgan County is Missouri's 58th representative district. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so you want to hit both of those for us, Rabid? And I'll get a pen here in just a little bit. Okay.
I'd like to see it sent off to sheriffs too.
Yeah, well, sheriff's running is not on this site. Yeah, but I have no problem with that whatsoever. People running for sheriff, according to Wiki, is what Rabbit says. Okay, so obviously coordination is needed. I don't have the forum side of our website up and running because something's happened to my web guy. I've not been in contact with him in about 6 weeks, and he's not responding to phone calls and texts. And it sounds really strange, but I don't know his last name or where he lives. But I do know someone who also knows him, and I'm going to go ahead and contact them literally tomorrow and see if they know what happened to him. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, something's up with that.
Yep.
It's,
yes, that's what I was going to do, is assign a block of districts to each volunteer. That is correct, Warrior Class. That's exactly how I was going to do it. I was thinking if we had like 10 volunteers, you know, basically we could divide up the Senate and representative districts, you know, in more equal, you know, allocations. And so we could actually get it done that way. So that was my original idea. And then, you know, it's very, very important we get these out. If people can't volunteer because they don't have time, trust me, I get it. I truly do get it. But the more of these we get back, the better it'll be for all of us, actually. And we can hold these guys' feet to the fire, since these, you know, will be publicly displayed. So if it turns out that they answer the questions a certain way and they act a different way when they're up in Jefferson City, we have recourse. You know, basically public recourse, not necessarily legal recourse. So just so you guys know that. And, yep, and hopefully we'll get some other folks to join us in on this too. So, yep, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about tonight. And so now I'm opening it up for larger conversation, unless anyone has any questions here about the questionnaires or sending them out. Please, okay, this would be the best way to do it for right now for coordination. Please put in the comments section of this video down below after the live stream is over. If you're going to cover your district, please put it in the comment section and name the district. So if it's Senate District 16 and Representative District 101, just cover those numbers for us in your comment as well. So that would be very helpful, because the coordination, you know, literally, like I said, we're just not set up for it. I was hoping to have the forums done on the website by now where all of this could be done. And the forums are not up and running properly on the website, and I don't have access to the web guy. I've been out of town, as you guys know, and I have a lot of things going on in my private life right now that's aside from business or the Missouri work that we do that has to be done, and I've got about 2 months to get it done in. So Norman Dills is our sheriff here. Good guy. Awesome, Rabbit. It's nice to have a constitutional sheriff. It's nice because I would say very safely 3/4 of our sheriffs in Missouri are not constitutional sheriffs. Maybe that number's a little high. Some people say the number is not high enough. I think 3/4.
I say that number's not high enough. Okay. Honestly.
All right. Yeah, I have had smarter people than me tell me that we only have about 5 or 6 constitutional sheriffs in the state of Missouri.
I think
we're losing you, buddy.
There's once again the Sheriff's Association. It's always the public service unions and that money.
Yep, true. Okay. All righty. Okay, we could go to larger conversation. You guys can bring up anything you want to talk about now. I know it's been a while since we've been live, and I apologize. Let me say one more time for those who have joined us. I've been out of state for a while, and that's going to continue on. We do have a live stream tonight, as you know, and we will have one next Saturday night. I will be home next Saturday night as well. But after that, I'll be out of town again for at least a week, at least. So, and then the next week here, I've got to get work done that actually puts food on the table. And so I'll be doing that heavily here in this next week because a lot of my customers have been waiting on me because I was out of town. So this is just an unusual period in my life where I've just got a crushing amount of stuff on my plate. And that sucks because we're running, it's during primary season. In the middle of August, that stuff I'm dealing with my brother-in-law that passed away will be done. So I'll have that off my plate. So sorry about that, guys. About 2 more months. And so at any rate, okay, larger conversation stuff. Let's not talk about me.
Now I don't even know what there is to really talk about.
Yep, I
outside of
know the red
it's
flag
kinda-
stuff that Casey brought up is something that's big right now in the news. Big. There's
that thing is falling apart though.
okay. It is
um,
officially falling apart. Good.
I mean, another thing. Oh, here's another thing too. So I guess this is Missouri related and gun related. So I don't know if you heard, but Biden administration is looking to stop Lake City, basically the Winchester-owned plant there, from selling to the commercial market.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Did you not hear what I said?
You broke up for part of it, man. I'm sorry.
Damn. Okay, this thing, I swear, we're going to find something else with this.
Yep.
But
Rebel Cry is saying it's cutting out on him.
It's cutting out on everybody.
Okay. All right.
The stream, it looks like it's going fine over the stream with your voice, but then anything that comes over this onto the stream is going to, like, to us, like, or let's say this to the people watching on YouTube, it's like your voice sounds normal, the rest of us are cutting out, I'm sure. For you, it when we're listening to you, it actually kind of sounds like you've been sucking on helium, and your voice goes like really high on this thing. It's
Wow.
I think it's something wrong with the bit rate.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, just so you guys know, we're certainly not married to Gilded. It's what we're using right now because we are officially off of Discord. That's a done deal, and we're not going back. The reason being is because their user terms, their license, their terms of use read like a communist manifesto, and we knew that happened in January 1st of 2018. We knew this all the way back then when we knew our time was limited there because of that, and so we're not going to go back. We're gonna, and Telegram is in the running up, so that's something that we're looking into. So, and but bear with us, gang. While we get through the primary season, I get through what I got to do up in Minnesota because I'll be gone for quite a bit of the next 2 months. So please bear with us during this transition.
I do say I think it would be great to keep Gilded just for the the calendars and everything and all that in the chat.
Yeah.
But for video and voice, it's awful.
Yeah. Well, once we get the forums and everything up and running on the website, I'm going to have to, if my web guy isn't available for whatever reason, I got to find another web guy. And so, because that website is very, very important, and it's been, the guy did all that work for us for free. He never charged a penny. So, there was no reason for me to crack a whip or anything. It's when he had spare time. So, and I was grateful for it because we just don't have any money. This organization does not have any money, so we did sell some T-shirts, by the way, for full disclosure, at Travis's Expo, and we covered the cost of our T-shirts plus an additional, I believe it was, with the donations that we had, plus an additional $29. So we're $29 in the black as of the Expo, so that's nice. Yeah, so we're not a rich organization.
Oh God.
So there's
not
there's,
by a long shot.
so at any rate,
this is how you make money, folks.
Yep. So we don't.
Right thing.
The reason I bring that up is because we can't afford to pay a web guy. So, and I'll probably end up having to learn to do the web thing myself, but it will be after this whole stuff is done and up in Minnesota. I'll take the time to learn if I have to. So I want to comment a few things here. Let's see. Voodoo Queen says she's on the road right now and will commit to her districts and comment later. Thank you very much, Voodoo. Let's see. Please feel free to play any video or community video that I have. Show me state news now. Yes, that's right. You've got a YouTube channel. That's right. I forgot about that. We need to talk. Email me, please, at patrick@mofree.org. I'll even put it in the comment section here. There we go. Patrick@mofree.org. Email me because we need to talk, man. Are you all familiar with the First Amendment audits? I can't say that I am.
He's a first. I can already tell he's a First Amendment auditor. Basically, one of those people that goes around and questions whether that basically whether or not they're going to be compliant with the Constitution or if they're going to not be compliant with the Constitution.
Gotcha. Okay, understood. I'm going to see if I can do something here for the voice bit rate here to solve our problems, but we're already pretty low. Let's see. West Oregon is the server we're on. Maybe that's...
Patrick.
Okay, hang on. Yeah, I don't want to change that right now. Gosh darn it. Okay, yeah, you guys saw what I was doing here. I'm not going to change that right now for the possibility of losing the live stream altogether, at least on the Gilded side. We're going to play with our settings, gang, and see if we can make this a little bit better. It could be the server that we're on right now that's causing the problems. Let's see.
We're on a U.S. server. I just looked at it.
Yeah, no, we're on a U.S. server, but there's another one to choose from on the East Coast. Any government that doesn't trust the people with arms shouldn't be trusted. If they're coming for people's right to defend themselves, they'll have things in mind that you need those arms for, says American Patriot. I agree. That's a serious problem in this country. And by the way, this is not, for bragging rights. The fact that Missouri is the only state with the Second Amendment Preservation Act with an enforcement mechanism, with ramifications for law enforcement that would break the new law. That is not something to be proud of. We need more states to have this. And by the way, I will be working with another state, and that's Oklahoma, to help get them started towards getting SEPA done. And Casey Rich is going to be deeply involved in that as well. But that's a project that will be starting this fall. This is nothing either of us have the time to work on right now. So we'll be working with another state, a neighboring state, to help them get SEPA done. And also too, I mean, if those of you who are interested, the entire Libertarian Caucus now has access to my gold and silver bill. They really did like it, and apparently they're going to make it available to all states for where they have a strong libertarian presence, to possible conversion into bill for those individual states. Even though we didn't get it done here in Missouri, it never actually got entered into the system in Missouri. We will be getting it done next year. And the Libertarian Caucus really, really likes our version of the bill that I wrote up. I ripped off a lot of it from Texas, by the way, gang. but we added in a couple of ingredients of our own that are quite unique and were very much appreciated by the Libertarian Caucus. I have no affiliation with the Libertarian Caucus, but since Mises has basically kind of absorbed the Libertarian Party, I think a lot of people will be more excited about the Libertarian Party. Let's just put it that way. So that is a new thing that is exciting, and and by the way, the contact actually came from our very own Robert Smith. So that he started up that contact, and so we'll be continuing to work with those folks. And I am honored that they thought our bill was worthy of taking to other states. That's a deep, deep honor. That's wonderful, and it's important at the same time. And that's about making gold and silver money again, transactable money in the state that you live in. And that's something that we feel in Missouri should be the next big move for us here after SEPA. There's other things we need to do too, but the next big move should be gold and silver. Let's see. Show me new state. What is your email? It's what I typed into the chat. It's patrick@mofree.org. Okay. All right. Got you guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Anything else you think of that we need to cover that we haven't covered so far?
Yeah, I got a question.
Sure.
Looks like gas is starting to level off right now. It's been kind of holding at 450. Think it's going to keep going up, or?
Actually, go ahead, Caleb.
It's gonna go up again. This is just because Biden thought it would be a good idea to dump about 81 million barrels from the strategic reserve, which means that
Isn't that like a 4-day supply for the United States at current consumption?
yeah, it's basically just gonna put like a 2-week Band-Aid on stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Rebel Cry says, send it to the Free State Project. Actually, they're part of the Libertarian Caucus. They will get it by default. The entire caucus got our bill. So I imagine they already have it already.
It has been seized and redistributed in the name of liberty.
Yep, that's right. Robert Smith says MIPA.
Hey,
go ahead.
I have to commandeer some of those commie phrases and repurpose them.
Ah, gotcha. Sound Money Defense League is also interested. Awesome, Robert. We share our bills that we write up with anyone that is for liberty and freedom. Absolutely, we do. And this isn't a thing where we need a surprise attack, to suddenly submit a bill, in January or December, pre-file. This is actually something that I think will have support from both sides of the aisle. That gold and silver bill is very, very important, and I do think other states want to get this done. And the other states that did get a gold and silver bill done didn't have all the, let's say, accoutrements, the condiments that ours had in it. And we had several of them, including audit support from the General Assembly. Not just support, it's oversight, complete oversight from the General Assembly. The fact that that our bill says that it's controlled by the comptroller of the currency and not by the Treasury. The Treasury will have nothing to do with control of gold and silver in the state of Missouri. So that way we have, a little bit more access and a little bit more oversight. And also the fact that we're doing a depository in the state, and we're requiring with our bill that a minimum of 25% or 20% of the state's reserves are held in the form of physical gold and silver. So thereby getting rid of bonds in treasuries that they may be holding as reserves, at least at 20% of the value of it anyway. No tax on buying gold and silver, that's already covered. No tax on saving gold and silver, that's already covered. That's already covered in the outline, Robert. We covered all of that. Oh yes, I just read it. Okay, got you, Robert. Good deal. If those of you want to see it, I'll make it available to you. I don't have it handy right now, but I can make it easily available on the next standalone video or live stream, whichever comes first. Okay.
I
So
I wanted to let's see here. If you can hear me, just kind of raise your hand if I cut out. But I wanted to mention that whole thing because someone else mentioned it about the Lake City situation with the Biden administration stopping that ammo output.
mhm.
Um, so Lake City produces about 30% of the 5.56 supply for the commercial market. Now I do see that other ammo manufacturers might pick up the difference, particularly since they've been putting new machinery online. But I don't think Winchester's going to let that go. They'll probably just put more equipment off site so the feds don't have a control over it.
Okay. I would really like to see an enormous amount of ammo manufacturers move into the state of Missouri. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
I
that.
would too.
There's competition's a good thing. We definitely have friendly laws for that sort of thing. So those of you out there who know anyone who works for an ammo manufacturing company, please have them contact us, or even, shoot, you could go all the way up to Secretary of State or Attorney General to explain our SAPA law and how they would be protected in the state of Missouri. So, and then
That's a sketchy thing because
on taxes, it's not.
much.
It's pretty straightforward, you know.
I know, but I'm talking about when you're talking about manufacturing large amounts of ammunition and openly in a way that would go out of state. You're still gonna need that. It's a $30 FFL.
Yeah, I understand that. That
But
doesn't affect us here in the state, though.
No, it really doesn't. No,
Yeah.
but oh, what was I gonna say? But yeah, I do. A lot of people don't realize that the Lake City, just up the road from me here, produces about 97% of the military's ammo. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if Winchester just flipped them the bird and went ahead and moved some of their equipment out of the facility, because Winchester owns the factory that's on site, and it's run by Winchester, and then it's on a military base, so
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't much just to retake up that 30% of the market they basically lost at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Robert also said, let's stop enforcing federal gun statutes in Missouri. Technically, that's already done. We just have a lot of laws that were federal laws that we had copies of in the Missouri, in our laws, in Missouri, statutes. And one by one, we can peel those off. So, but they're Missouri laws. We don't follow federal laws here anymore, as far as guns are concerned.
Yeah. Well, two things. A couple of things. So AOWs and destructive devices, as long as it's not an explosive destructive device or a one that does not shoot poison gas, those are not NFA items in Missouri anymore. Also, I'm going to add in there too that there's literally no requirement for you to have an FFL in the state of Missouri for any of that.
Mm-hmm.
The cops can't enforce it. Good luck getting anybody to enforce that from the federal without. But my point in what I was saying earlier is that the moment you manufacture ammo on large scale, the feds will still try to come after that.
Yep, understood. Okay. I want to bring up a few things here. I'm going to bring up a calendar real quick because Casey Pemberton actually next Saturday has a Super Saturday event. So let's see if I can bring that up. Here's the calendar that we have inside of Gilded. If you guys can see that on your screen, it is Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and this is a Casey Pemberton event. He is one of our gang, one of the Missouri Freedom Initiative. He is also running for office. This is not considered an endorsement for Casey, although I think he's a great guy. We, like I said, we don't officially endorse people through this organization. But at any rate, I wanted to let you guys know he is having a fundraiser, and that's in Versailles, Missouri. and it's next Saturday. And if you guys want to join, feel free to do that. And once again, Casey's a great guy. I've met him two times up in Jefferson City. So if you guys want any more details on that, put it in the comments section below, and we'll get you that information. Once again, it's Casey Pemberton. So, and Robert has an event coming up sometime soon too. I don't remember the date. And Robert has asked me, basically if I wouldn't mind speaking at that event, and I'm thinking about saying yes. But once again, it won't be, Pat Holland, the Missouri Freedom Initiative guy. It'll be just Pat Holland. And so I can go and speak, at his event. And I can't remember if that's like in August. So I should have a lot of things cleared off my plate by then. So August 6th, he says. Yep, I'll be back in town by August 6th. So you guys, I've made it public. I intend to go and speak, but it won't be for the Freedom Initiative. So that'll be just, Pat Holland, just speaking. And so, guys, I just want to say, I want to thank you guys for hanging with us. And I know it's difficult when we're not having a lot of communication lately, especially when we're going into primaries. And once again, it's because I just have a lot on my plate personally right now. And I thank you all for your patience. The Missouri Freedom Initiative is here to stay. This isn't a thing where, gosh darn it, the legislative season's over. It's time for us to take a breather, because that's kind of what we did last year. We really can't do that this year during the election season, because we have a lot of rhinos that have been problems for us. And we need to let them know that we know that they're problems for us. And we do that through the primaries and also the election season. That's how we do that. Let's see. Show Me State News says, I just shared you on my community page. Awesome. Show Me State News. Now I have a feeling we'll be talking on the phone before long, if that's okay with you, because we'd like to partner up with you. So let's see what we can do about that. And I thank you very much for sharing us on your community page. And we'll do the same thing. And we got our web guy going again, because there's things we need done on the website very badly right now. We will get that done sooner or later. Okay, as we're coming up on an hour, is there anything I've forgotten, guys, that we need to cover? T-shirts. Once again, I showed them earlier if you've joined us. 3 colors, T-shirts for our organization. This is, what little money we make on T-shirts, basically. I'll show you what the T-shirts look like. That's the front of the T-shirt. This is Jimmy D's design from something that Liberty Revolutionary and I did a year ago. Over a year ago, actually. And Jimmy D took the design and refined it, brought it to a T-shirt shop, and had T-shirts made out of it. So we're keeping Jimmy D's design for right now. And we'll probably always have this design. We may add others. Here's the back of the shirt. And so the sizes we have 3 colors. And the sizes we have are small, medium. We don't have any large. Those sold out at the expo. We have extra large and extra, extra large. And this is an extra large that I wear. So those are the sizes we have. Those are the colors. If you're interested in shirts, email me at patrick@mofree.org. And then in the next week, I should be able to get pretty much all of that taken care of. So email us if you want a T-shirt. And it's the Missouri Freedom Initiative T-shirt. It's our official T-shirt.
Hey, do you think one of those 2X T-shirts would fit me?
I don't know, Casey.
I might have to go 3.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. So I fit into an XL.
I would say the 2X would fit you. I know how big, roughly how tall you are. How wide? Yeah, I think the 2X would fit
this
you.
is this is
it was
standard.
The people that were there that were.
We lost Liberty's video feed. I will say this, Casey. When it comes to the sizes of the shirts, they're very standard. If you go to a store and you buy a double X large, these will fit you just like those will. Yep. Okay. All right, gang. Let's see.
Oh, I was gonna, Robert.
I see that. Robert's saying, let's stop federal enforcement
yeah.
on our borders.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was looking in the because we have a chat thing here too in Gilded, and
Yep.
no tax on buying gold and silver. Yeah, that's already a thing, and there's no tax on buying it because it's sort of in a way treated like currency, but there's no incentive things, and there's no treasury here. That's the big difference for Missouri. Let's see here, and then with federal, let's see, stop allowing federal enforcement in our borders. Yeah. There is a way to do that, but it's finicky. You would have to both have federal federal tyrants arrested here, and then you'd have to ban the courts from remanding the case to federal court.
Okay. And yeah, you cut out pretty bad there a little while ago, Liberty. So, in fact, your video feed gave out too. All right, just so you know what we see on our end.
This isn't good.
Okay, gang. We will do some more testing before we do another live stream with Gilded. And it won't take much because there's a couple of things we can do that I see already. We can switch servers, and we can also lower the bit rate for the audio. So those are two things that we can do to address, the issues. It could be just that their main server for relay on the West Coast is overwhelmed. And if that's the case, switching to the East Coast server should help. So there we go. Okay, hey guys, let's see. We need to end all personal property taxes. Gary Ride, hey there, Gary. Gary, I need you to watch this video from the beginning and see if you can help us out with basically getting these questionnaires out, if you don't mind. And he says the property taxes are getting insane. That is something that is on my list, and I've actually started preliminary work on that, but that's something that's going to take a long time to get done. And it's going to take a lot more support than we currently have. We need a lot of rhinos out and in order to do that. We'll never get that done with our current makeup in Jeff City.
Be faster if we didn't have public service unions.
That's true too, and I get that. But right now the rhinos will stop. Like for instance, we talk about Plocker all the time. Plocker won't let that through. He absolutely will not let that through. So that's a done deal with Plocker in. And so, okay.
There's a lot of stuff we're not going to get through if we don't deal with that, dude.
Yeah. We could do.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
What's that?
Initiative petition to remove public service unions from the legislative process and any funds thereof.
Yep, that's a good idea. We could look into that. Well, you got to look into the logistics of that too. We might get a little backlash, just a tad of backlash from that.
Just a little bit of backlash.
Just a little bit. It wouldn't, yeah, it won't be horrible. Okay, gang. Well, I'm thinking about wrapping.
I'm be real blunt here. Public enemy. Public enemy number one is public service unions.
Okay. All right. So we got that out there, and it's something everyone can digest for a little bit. And there definitely is something to what Caleb just said. We have seen this with police unions, prosecutors unions, and other unions donating to campaigns of our politicians, and that they go with whatever they want, or stop bills that are not in the best interest of these unions that are donating campaign funds.
And they have no, and I mean absolutely no, influence from a market, because their source of income comes from government, from your tax dollars, not from a market.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So that is a serious problem we deal with in the state of Missouri. Every state deals with this at one level or another, but it is something that this is the thing. Someone might say, well, gosh darn it, Liberty Revolutionary, why are you bringing that up right now? Because it should be public knowledge is why. Because people need to know that is the case. That is the truth. And it unfortunately, it affects legislation in the state when you have public, unions like this actually affecting your legislators that are supposed to work for you. They're actually working for public unions, based on donations. And most of that money is coming from the federal government to the unions or from their members to the unions. And suddenly the unions are controlling your politicians. It's happened with medical too.
It's a direct underground line straight to control you in the states, to push the federal policy on the states.
That's correct.
And until you get rid of them, you're going to have a hell of a time getting anywhere.
Yep. Okay, gang. Well, I'm thinking about wrapping it up. So if you guys have anything you want to say in YouTube land, go ahead and throw it into the comment section. Once again, thank you for putting up with the somewhat usable Gilded that we're currently on. Within 2 months, we'll either have fixed our problems on Gilded or we'll be on a completely different platform. So that will be within 2 months. So we'll be working on that. Let's see. Or at least get property taxes, much lower. Missouri is a lot better than any Democrat-run state for property taxes, for sure. Even up in Maine, property taxes are way more than Missouri. We get that, except for Christian County, and there's one more county right up by Kansas City. We have very high property taxes in Christian County per capita.
Cass County.
I can't remember. It's the one that has that giant UPS. Gosh darn it, I don't remember the.
Oh yeah, that's next county over. That's off of 210 highway. I was thinking Cass County. Property taxes are pretty damn high.
American Patriot says, keep fighting the good fight, fellas. You bet. We'll never stop. When I stop fighting the good fight is when I'm not breathing anymore. That's when I stop. Guys, it's up to us to make Missouri free. We can go the way of California. We can go the way of, Rhode Island. We can go the way of New York, or we can go the opposite direction. All it takes is people getting involved. We've proven that with SEPA, and we've proven that with shutting down HJR 79. We've proven that involvement is what gets things done, and we can overcome a lot of opposition, even money. Voices will overcome money to a certain extent too. Plocker, not so much, and that's why he's a problem we'll be dealing with later on. But there's nothing we can do about Plocker. He's far too powerful. Far too powerful. So the guys who just, So forget I said anything about dealing with Plocker. We need third-party transparency, accountability team to hold our public servants accountable. That's exactly what we're doing. Show me State News Now. That's exactly what we're doing. And we're doing it in bigger ways all the time. These, if you haven't looked at it, we have questionnaires that we're sending out to everyone running for office. Let's see. Triple T says F New York and FJB. Yep. Kinda. That's all I can say because we're family friendly here on the Missouri Freedom Initiative. We're a family. My grandkids actually will tune in from time to time, by the way, gang. So, okay, all right. Let's see. Show me news. We need a way to impeach our General Assembly. The whole General... Ganai, someone really, really made you angry in the General Assembly, I think. Impeach the entire General Assembly. I'm not sure that there is a way in our Constitution to actually do that. I'd have to look. Caleb, are you familiar enough with the Missouri Constitution to know if there's a way to get rid of the whole government at one time? Probably not.
Article 1, Section 3.
Okay. All right, gotcha. All right, so we'll examine Article 1,
Article 1, Section 3.
Okay. There you go, Ganai. Take a look at Article 1, Section 3 and find out, basically if it's just the threat of using a nuclear weapon, or is it using a nuclear weapon? We need to stop real estate taxes as well. That is what I have looked into specifically. It wasn't actually private property. It was estate taxes, real estate taxes. That's what I looked into. That is a very, very difficult thing to do statewide. So at any rate, we'll continue looking into that, but we need rhinos out before we can accomplish that. Okay. All right, gang. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap her up.
Yeah, I need to write something up.
Robert Smith says Missouri is like 3 in property taxes. Are you talking about the third highest? There's no way that can be true. I meant New Jersey, Minnesota, California, New York, all have higher taxes than us. So we'd have to be way lower than third. And I'm assuming that's third from the highest is what you mean. If we're third from the lowest, actually I'd have a hard time believing that too. So, is it real estate or personal property taxes you're talking about? I am confused.
It also goes by district. So, I mean, if you go by district, you got like counties where it's really high, and the rest of them just really don't care. It's like chump change.
Let's see. Ganai says, yeah, Patrick, the whole past session opened my eyes. Yeah. Yep. It does open your eyes when you go and spend time up in Jeff City. It does. It's an eye opener. So you wake up pretty fast when you go up there. And
sometimes it'll make you want to vomit too.
Yep. But that's how we do it. That's how we get it done. I spent 2 years up there, helping to get SEPA done. 2 years. And that was not a whole lot of fun. I prefer to make phone calls and do emails if I can, but sometimes those visits are so critical, so important. Let's see. Rabid Cody says, I pay $463 for 5 acres by the lake. Okay, Rabid. I pay $2,980 for 5 acres in Christian County, and I don't have a lake. So Christian County is terrible.
That's absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he says we're 29th nationwide. Okay. Yep, my taxes are incredibly high. But it's Christian County. So it's not just me or my school district. It's the whole dang county. Just keep voting in those referendums. If you guys don't know, I was deeply involved in shutting down the last 2 school bonds they tried to pass in Clever, Missouri, where we live. And in fact, it was my wife and I. And the last one, it was just us. The one before it, there were a few more people involved, but the last one really was just us. And then try and shut them down when you can. Rabid Cody goes, wow, crazy. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. Go ahead.
Unions.
Yep, unions. Yep. Okay, gang, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight, for getting our feet back into the live stream game. We will take a look at the complications that we had with Gilded tonight and see what we can do to fix them for the next live stream. But we will be on Gilded for at least another 2 months. We probably won't be staying unless we fix all the problems with it. But a problem that we do have with it is it still doesn't work on phones. That's a problem with it, at least not for the live streaming. So that's a problem. Okay, you guys, thank you again. If you guys have any questions, let us know. I will be watching the comment section pretty closely, because we need to communicate through that comment section on YouTube on what districts you're going to cover if you are helping us with, and if we get a lot of volunteers, we can just divide up, and that would be very helpful. So please comment down below if you're willing to help, or if you're just doing your own districts and letting us know what district it is. If you guys have any problems or questions, please shoot me an email, and let's get this whole state covered. All right. Well, thank you once again, gang. Guys, I love you. Thank you for hanging with us and putting up with me being kind of absent here, for most of the summer. But there's light at the end of the tunnel for this for me, and that's the end of July, beginning of August timeframe. And I've made a public commitment now to actually go to Robert's fundraiser in August 6th. So if you guys want to join us there on August 6th, Casey Pemberton, I cannot make a commitment on because I have to go back up to Minnesota next Sunday. So we're talking about the day before I go up to Minnesota. So I definitely cannot make Casey's, as much as I love Casey. So, but keep in mind, Casey does have that event next Saturday. Okay, any other questions, comments, or anything else? Hit the comment section down below. Email me directly, or if you have my phone number, give me a call. You guys all have a wonderful weekend. Remember now, next Saturday, another live stream. There may be a standalone video between now and next Saturday as well. You guys have a wonderful weekend. May God bless each and every one of you and every member of your family. And we're going to stay out here on Gilded for a few more minutes if you guys want to come in and join us. All right, gang, you take care.